captain in his game.
Starting for Johns Hopkins on defense, number 44, Mark Greenberg. Number 38, Leroy Katz. Number 34, Mike Connor. On the midfield, number 9, Bob DeSimone. Number 18, Dave Hot Rod Hundley. Number 24, Joe Garavanti. The Hopkins attack, number 7, Mike O'Neill. Number 21, Rich Hirsch. Number 47, Frank Catrone. And starting in the goal, number 13, Kevin Mahan. The head coach, Henry Ciccarone. Chick, in 1962, you were co-captain of the Blue Jays. Buddy Beardmore was co-captain of the Terps. They came up and spoiled your homecoming up at Homewood Field. Can the Jays respond today before this enormous crowd down here?
Well, that's a long time ago, Joe. We're certainly going to be shooting for it.
Good luck to you today, Chick. And now for the starting lineup for the Maryland Terrapins. Starting on defense, number 32, Randy Ratliff. Number 14, George Miller. Number 17, Ed Cray. On midfield, face-off expert, number 31, Bobby Ott. Number 26, Bill Gould. Number 24, Kevin Boland. On attack, number 29, Mike Hines. Number 23, Bob Boniello. Number 11, John Lehman. And starting in the goal, senior number 3, Jake Reed. The head coach of the Maryland Terrapins, Buddy Beardmore. Buddy, is the home field advantage going to be of help to the Terps today?
We certainly hope so, Joe. I think it definitely will help us with 1 or 2 goals. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Buddy, and good luck today. We'll be back in a minute.
And this crowd is ready, as you can hear in the background. They're expecting between 15 and 20,000 today, and they may get it. They're still filing in. And the game is underway. Still no possession here. Maryland controlled the face-off, and we pick up the action with Maryland on the attack.
O'Neill puts the ball into play.
All right, in front, shot to go, and that one will count. Joe Garavanti. A flag is down on the play, but we have a goal. All right, Joe, let's look at it again.
A perfect feed out into the middle, a bounce shot, almost impossible to stop, and a penalty on top of it.
From College Park, Maryland, the score. Johns Hopkins 1, Maryland 0. Maryland controlled the face-off, and we pick up the action with Maryland on the attack.
Maryland will put the ball into play since they beat it to the end line.
Maryland trails 1-0. Jim Carvelis, Joe Harlan here at College Park. Here's a shot to goal. Tony Morgan. Tony Morgan has tied the game. And a happy group of running Terps. We look at it again, Joe Harlan.
He's coming around unassisted. He's waiting till the goalie can't see his eyes. He's open and he's putting it low, bouncing it, and he's got a goal.
Kohler facing off for Maryland against Maimone. 1-1 lacrosse game, 8:13 to play in the first period. I think they've loosened up a bit, Joe.
That's true. After kind of a first quiet few minutes, both teams are coming alive, looking at a quick, fast break now, and O'Neill again settling the ball.
Maimone got that face off. Here's O'Neill with a good move. Watch him go! What a shot by O'Neill! Maimone got the face off. O'Neill got the ball, and it's 2-1. And you're looking at the Maryland side of the field there. Let's look at it again.
You see O'Neill driving on Go Hill, coming in after a little stutter step, bouncing it again. The bounce shot is the shot that's going today.
From College Park, Maryland, the score. Hopkins 2 and Maryland 1. Hopkins controlled the face-off, but lost the ball to Maryland. We pick up the action with Maryland on the attack.
Let's see what they can do now as they put the ball into play, as Hopkins is riding and forcing the Maryland clear back to the goalie.
Reed gets it back to Prey. Prey up the field for Duncan. Duncan along that left sideline comes into the box. All the way, shot of the goal! What a goal by Duncan! Tremendous shot, hit the side netting on the left. And no chance at all for Mahan there.
As you see Mahan, a right-handed goalie, he wants to shoot off his left wrist, a perfect shot right where he can't be, and it's in the goal.
Maryland controlled the faceoff, but lost the ball to Hopkins. And we pick up the action with Hopkins on the attack. All right, this is like the power play in hockey, the extra man advantage. They'll work it around, and they'll be looking now for a shot. Somebody's got to be open somewhere. Here's a shot of the goal! Bob DeSimone has given Johns Hopkins a 3-2 lead with 5:30 to play in the first period, and they took advantage as a dejected Jake Reed looks on. Joe Harlan.
A simple pass out into the middle, a low shot. The man coming out on him is screening the goalie, and the goalie doesn't pick it up until it's almost by him. A beautiful assist by Dave Hot Rod Hundley.
Hopkins controlled the faceoff, and we pick up the action with Hopkins on the attack. Maryland trailing 3-2 now, starts the attack. That errant pass was picked off there by Greg Rump. Martinello broken up, still loose, picked up by Mahan. Teasdale getting it on the right now to number 15, that's Auburn. Still loose. Steve Way in front. Look out, go! Goal by John Swordlaw.
We'll watch it coming up again. A very low shot coming in low. The goalie slightly screened, and it's right in the net. Again, bounce shots. We haven't seen anything but bounce shots today, and that's what's going in.
Now Maryland trails 4-2, and Buddy Beardmore says, let's call a timeout and talk it over. With 3:44 to play in the first period, the score, Maryland 2, Hopkins 4. Maryland controlled the faceoff, but lost the ball to Hopkins. And we pick up the action with Hopkins on the attack. By the Blue Jays. DeSimone, good save by Reed. Here's a follow to goal. And what a great shot by Mike O'Neill, who golfed it in. O'Neill on the rebound by DeSimone as you watch it again. DeSimone will have the first shot here. And Reed made the save. Now watch this rebound come out.
Just like he's using a number 7 iron left-handed. He golfs it, as you said, Jimmy, right into the goal. As Hopkins jumping on top now by a score of 5-2.
Maryland controlled the faceoff, and we pick up the action with Maryland on the attack.
This is typical of Hopkins' pattern so far this year. Again, jumping on top early, but not being able to hold it in the third period. And, of course, we're still just in the first period of this very exciting game before these thousands and thousands of fans down here at the University of Maryland.
That was Reed bringing it all the way upfield. Now he gets it on the right side. Here comes Maryland. In front goal! That was Mike Farrell scoring. And Maryland gets right back to this game, 5-3 now as we look at it again.
He's assisted by a defenseman as he shoots it in here, and that's always a thrill for a defenseman to come into that. Randy Ratliff, and of course Mike Farrell scoring, not the same Mike Farrell that was a defenseman last year, but a different one.
We now pick up the action later in the second quarter. Chick Ciccarone on the sideline. What a great job he's done with this Hopkins club. And Buddy Beardmore, an equally great job. Without a doubt, two of the best coaches in the whole world. What a crowd out here. It's got to be over 20,000.
You know, they're also supported by some excellent coaching staffs. Both of the coaching staffs for the teams, if they were eligible to get on the field, could probably add something there, too, because there's a bunch of All-Americans on those coaching staffs.
Maryland trailing 5-3. Martinello, number 6. To Hines as they work it around with the extra man. Shot of the goal! Greg Rump has closed the gap to 1 now. Let's look at it again.
See a feed from the outside, from behind to the outside. He'll be taking the ball in left-handed and looking for the upper right-hand corner as the shot is fired through a massive sticks. Not too much chance for Kevin Mahan as it dents the nets.
Back for the face-off. All-American Sunday here on Channel 13. You just finished watching the Preakness Parade. Now you're watching Hopkins and Maryland. Right after this game, we have baseball, the Orioles in Oakland. What a day on Channel 13. The shot is wide of the mark by Kevin Boland. Maryland retains possession. Time remaining, 13:43 in the second period. Maryland trails Johns Hopkins 5-4. Martinello in front. Shot just goes wide. The Terps on the attack. Hines going for the ball, battling Greenberg. It'll be awarded to Maryland.
Referee signals it went off the knee of Greenberg, and that's Bobby Slinger right there on the play, a University of Virginia graduate.
The Terps trying to tie the game here. Oh, a shot and a great goal. There's a great goal by 24 Kevin Boland. And he paralyzed Mahan. He never saw it, Joe.
You'll see him, the ball going out on the point here. He'll hide it behind him. He'll turn his body so Kevin can't see it. And he'll suddenly whip around, much in the fashion of the great All-American Joe Cowan in past years, Hopkins star now on the sidelines. Mahan never seeing the ball until it comes out, just like a left-handed pitcher throwing it in there out of his glove.
A lot of young fans in the stands here at Byrd Stadium today watching this tremendous lacrosse game. What a great game this lacrosse is. I remember Joe and I had worked lacrosse in 1974, and I never really forgot it. It was my first indoctrination to the game, and I'm really happy to be doing it again. Here's a shot and another goal! And Maryland has gone up on top, and the same man has done it again. Kevin Bowen. And the Terps now have taken a 6-5 lead as we look at it again.
You'll see him coming around, passing off, wide open out front, anywhere he wants to put the ball, coming through a stick and hitting the upper right-hand corner. Maryland winning at 6 face-off to Hopkins 5. And Jimmy, give us the score because it's the same as the face-off.
From College Park, Maryland. We now pick up the action later in the second quarter.
The University of Maryland, again, they'll have a very complicated offense here on extra man, maybe dropping off into a high post. We see them set at a 3-1-2, putting the ball behind.
Hines with the ball, looking to feed it out. Good move, and goal! The goal by Pete Worstel, the fine freshman.
You'll see it coming up here again. You'll see the Hopkins defenseman violating the cardinal rule of defense. He's taking the face dodge on extra man. Worstel pulls his stick. He's got a wide open shot. Bang, there's a goal.
Hopkins controlled the face-off, but lost the ball to Maryland. We pick up the action with Maryland on the attack.
Well, this is a game of momentum and spurts now, and the momentum seems to be with the Terrapins, as they will be on an extra man for a period of 1 minute. A cross check, of course, holding your stick broom-like fashion in two hands and pushing off someone. It's not only dangerous, but it's also illegal, and so Maryland will enjoy an extra man for a period of 60 seconds. Setting now from behind the goal.
Man in front, shot over the top. Maryland controls, man open, goal! Goal by Johnny Lehman. Johnny Lehman gets his 10th goal of the year.
Again, Maryland moving the ball well. After the initial block shot goes over, picked up behind very quickly, seeing Lehman wide open on the crease. He stands there. Where do I want to put it? Anywhere he wants to put it, he can, and he sure does, off the lower right-hand side of Kevin Mahan's hand.
And Maryland, who was trailing 5-2, has scored 6 straight goals to take an 8-5 lead.
I think you had pray and wait. It's like say hey. Fine shot of Buddy Beardmore, head coach of the University of Maryland and the coach of the world champion United States team in Melbourne, Australia, 1974.
Buddy's record against Johns Hopkins is 6-4. All right, the Blue Jays trying to get something going. O'Neill. Hirsch with the ball. DeSimone. Shot at the goal. What a shot by DeSimone. Oh, beautiful shot by DeSimone. It's now 8-6, and Hopkins needed that one.
You'll see him doing this completely unassisted, one-handed. The goalie probably cannot see his eyes right now, which is a very important factor for a goaltender, because he cannot see where the ball's going to be coming. A high bounce, no chance for Jake Reese.
Maryland controlled the face-off, and we pick up the action with Maryland on the attack. 1974, these two clubs met for the national championship at Rutgers. There's a shot at a goal. Great individual effort by Hines. Mike Hines scoring his 16th goal of the year. And there was a defensive lapse there as no one was really on him as he moved past.
He drove on his man. The midfielder should have come to back and help him. Didn't. Kevin didn't have a prayer.
From Byrd Stadium, the score, Maryland 9 and Johns Hopkins 6. Maryland controlled the faceoff but lost the ball to Hopkins. And we pick up the action with Hopkins on the attack. All right, time remaining, 2:50 to play in the first half. Maryland leads Hopkins 9-6. Here comes Hopkins on the attack. DeSimone plays it off on the right. Huntley, go! Huntley! Dave Huntley makes it now 9-7, and Hopkins stays in this game.
You have to feel that Henry Ciccarone, when he called that timeout, sent the play in to isolate off of DeSimone initially, then to give the ball off to Hot Rod Huntley, who came around and just dropped it neatly in the goal.
Now with 2:37 to play, we look at it again.
Coming around single-handedly, Hot Rod driving hard on the goal. Good angle, bouncing it again, right by Jake Reed.
I have Maryland with it. Low shot in the goal. What a shot by Lance Kohler. And Mahan didn't have a chance that time on the low shot. And Maryland's leading by 3 now. 10-7 with 2:07 to play in the half as Joe Harlan looks at it again.
Right-handed shot, very low. I think it's going to take a funny bounce because Kevin had it scoped, but it's just going up a little higher than he expected. It's going to pass over his left shoulder.
Goal number 7, Lance Kohler, the assist.
With the score, Maryland 10, Johns Hopkins 7. Let's pause for this message. Lacrosse game. We thought it'd be interesting to investigate exactly how fast the lacrosse ball travels. So we sent Channel 13 Sports Director Tom Boyd to Homewood Field.
And Jim, 2 Baltimore County policemen took their radar unit out of the street long enough to place it on the field here at Homewood for a little speed competition.
82. 51. That was bouncing back. 77. 77.
Canadian former box lacrosse player David Hot Rod Huntley was the top dog at 93 miles per hour. Do you feel that it's important to be able to sling that ball at 93, 94, or 95 miles per hour? Or does it really not make that much difference?
I think once you get like over 75 or something like that, really doesn't make much difference.
So this is just kind of a fun sidebar, that a little competition you get into every so often.
Yeah, that's all I think it was yesterday. We had a lot of fun doing it, and we, really glad that they came out. It was a lot of fun with, all the coaches were out there and stuff. We had a good laugh out of it.
And a goalie's perspective on these speed merchants from Jay's Kevin Mahan. Do you, when you look out there from your working post, do you distinguish between the hot rods in this business, if you will, or does it really not matter all that much about the speed?
Usually you shouldn't. You shouldn't worry about who's shooting, but sometimes, like if they're coming down a fast break, you do. If like Dave Huntley on our team, who's got a very hard shot, if he's coming down, you sort of notice sometimes who has the ball and who doesn't have the ball.
I'm Tom Boyd, Channel 13 Sports. Now back up to Jim Carvelis.
We now pick up the action later in the third quarter. Why don't you go on with that top 10, Joe?
Of course, Jimmy. Cornell number 1, Maryland, as we said, number 2, Johns Hopkins number 3. Of course, the outcome of this game will determine that order finish. Navy was ranked number 4 and Penn number 5, but we can predict that will be reversed because on Friday night, the University of Pennsylvania upset the Naval Academy by a score of 17-12. Washington and Lee comes next in 6th place, and number 7 is North Carolina, number 8 is Virginia, number 9 is Rutgers, and tied for 10 is Massachusetts and Princeton. We'll have further comment on that in just a minute.
Good defensive play and a good pass to Steve Way, and watch Johns Hopkins now move on the attack. They trail 10-7 in the third period against the running Terps. Teasdale, Way with the ball, number 12.
Johns Hopkins going to a very deliberate midfield attack now.
Here's Federico now going one-on-one on Rattler. Bounces the shot in. It's still controlled by Hopkins. Teasdale in front, shot, what a save. Shot that time by Hirsch was saved. Now it's deflected out, and the whistle blows. And it's going to be awarded to Maryland.
You may look for the shot. I think it may have also been stopped by the pipe. Let's take a look very closely, Jimmy, on this very fine instant replay.
Hirsch's shot. And Reed was in good position.
We're blocked by Reed, but it was an excellent position, a fine save by Reed. Maryland will put the ball back into play now with 10.5 minutes remaining. Maryland on top by a score of 10-7. No scoring yet in the second half.
Fine halftime by Mr. Boyd. And Huntley can really fire the ball. 93 miles an hour, and Huntley has scored here this afternoon as well. I watch Maryland moving on the attack. 10 minutes, 7 seconds to play in the third period. Hot.
The natives are restless here as the drums are starting to beat. They want the Terrapins to come alive here.
Hines with the ball now, number 29, behind his own net, looking to get a pick. Can't use the screen. Now he plays it right out front to Ott. Ott winds up, lets it go, and just misses the left post. Maryland will keep the ball.
Jimmy, the top 8 of this top 10 are so important because those are the teams that more than likely will get a berth. And I'm going to predict right now that the University of Virginia, number 8, will be receiving the 8th berth and will probably play Cornell as we watch his fine left-handed shot coming in a bounce and an excellent shot.
High Maryland controlling the ball now with 9:28 to play. Third period. Shot and a goal! Great setup. Boniello got the goal, and it was a great feed to Boniello. Worstel made the feed. Worstel.
And here we're watching it again. Hard left-handed drive.
Maryland controlled the face-off, but lost the ball to Hopkins. And we pick up the action with Hopkins on the attack.
Jim is a prominent national announcer for basketball and soccer and so many other sports. I have to ask you, have you ever seen a game more exciting than lacrosse?
Well, I'll tell you, I think I said earlier in the telecast that when you and I had, well, let's watch this. Here's Hopkins attacking and a great goal. A goal by Hopkins by Frank Petrone, and I'll tell you, it looked like Maryland went to sleep a little bit on defense.
We're going to watch it again, and just as we're talking about how exciting lacrosse is, we see it happening in action. A feed off to the left of the goal, coming in, watching the man come around, faking high, going low under Jake Reed's stick for a goal.
We now pick up the action later in the third quarter. Maryland broken up nicely. Good defensive play by Hopkins. DeSimone was going for the ball, but it was Worstel coming up with it. And now, coming in close, here comes Maryland. Here's a bad pass.
Ball went out of the top of the stick. Kevin Mahan very alertly going to the sidelines. It was a pass, so he didn't have to beat it out as you would on a shot. And giving the ball to DeSimone, the premier midfielder for Johns Hopkins.
Well, I'm not the only one that thinks lacrosse is exciting. You saw a good shot of a great crowd here at Byrd Stadium today, and I would say that this crowd has got to be in excess of 20,000. That's just a guess, but we've got a lot of people here today. Look at that crowd in the background.
Well, you know, Jimmy, I think some people are turned off a little bit by professional sports today, and of course, lacrosse doesn't have a professional outlet. And these kids are down here fighting their hearts out in a good college game, and the game is so exciting, as you say, it's very difficult even to talk about it without missing the action.
Maryland breaks it up. Trying to clear and having a tough time doing that. Now the Blue Jays are putting some pressure on now. They're only down by 3, 11-8. Terps led by 3 goals at the half. There's DeSimone, one of the outstanding players in the game today. Started his career at Navy. Now here he is with Johns Hopkins. Thrown behind the net. Blue Jays trying to cut the Maryland lead to 2. DeSimone does. DeSimone makes it 11-9 with 7:28 to play in the third period. And this is a brand new game again. Look at it again, Joe.
Here we have it, DeSimone handling the ball one-on-one. He'll be shooting low and underneath the stick. Just underneath the stick, hitting the far pole and backing off. A beautiful goal, Jim.
Maryland controlled the face-off, and we pick up the action with Maryland on the attack.
Martinello, a la Dougie, ran a ball with that wind-up, heavy wind-up shot, bouncing high over the goal as the Terps put the ball back into play.
I'm surprised there isn't more lacrosse on television. I really am. Oh, what a goal by Hines! Boniello feed, but a great effort by Hines. An acrobatic shot. Looked like Earl the Pearl Monroe. Watch this.
Right over the back of his head. The goalie not seeing it until too late. Behind really with that much of a chance.
With a score, Maryland 12 and Hopkins 9. Let's pause for a moment. Face it off, 12-9. Maryland by 3 with 5:50 to play in the third period. Now a whistle blows. And a personal foul is going to be called against Maryland.
Give me a holding call there. One of the players, Wayne Davis, losing his helmet, putting it back into place. You know, Jimmy, you talked about why there isn't more lacrosse on television. The answer is that there's no reason why there isn't. If you enjoy watching the lacrosse on WJZ, let's hear about it. How about dropping us a line and indicating you'd like to see a little more of it?
All right, here's Hopkins. Goal! Johns Hopkins with Hurst, the veteran attack man. 5:40 to play, third period. The score, Maryland 12, Johns Hopkins 10. Maryland controlled the face-off, but lost the ball to Hopkins. And we pick up the action with Hopkins on the attack. And the Blue Jays trailing by only 2, threatening to cut it to 1 here. 4:52 to play, third period. What a game. Shot! Davis. Blue Jays keep it. Now they'll make substitutions. Both clubs making substitutions.
Henry Ciccarone wants Bob DeSimone in there. That's his rifle. That's the man he wants in there.
Garaventi also comes in the game, as does Hot Rod Huntley, number 18. You saw him at halftime. You know he can fire it. There's the goal! Michael O'Neill, and Reed never expected that shot. He never expected it as they go crazy. Let's look at it again.
O'Neill setting Bird Stadium on fire with a simple roll, coming back right-handed, beating his man, beating Jake Reed to bring the Blue Jays within 1 goal of the Terrapins.
Jake Reed never expected that shot. Now the score, Maryland 12, Johns Hopkins 11. Kohler and Maimone to face it off. 4:43 to play, third period. This huge crowd is beside itself. There's electricity at College Park. Maimone got the face-off. Hot Rod Huntley. Watch him. Gets it back. Now Hopkins has a chance to tie the game. They were down by as many as 4 early in the third period. DeSimone. Well, they got a couple guys that can really fire it in here now. Huntley, DeSimone. There's Hot Rod. One-on-one. Going with Kohler. Goal! He's tied it up! How about that? With 4:02 to play in the third period. It's Maryland 12 and Johns Hopkins 12.
Let's watch him do it here, Jimmy. Coming in left-handed, beating his man. A hard shot. Bang!
Maimone and Ott facing it off. Hot Rod Huntley's 24th goal of the year has tied the game with 4:02 to play, third period. Jim Carvelis, Joe Harlan, Bird Stadium, College Park. What a battle. Ott comes off of the ball. He's got a man in front. The pass goes wild. That was Worstel trying to feed the ball, and the Blue Jays get it back.
If you enjoy seeing this game brought to you on WJZ, don't be afraid to grab a postcard and write WJZ Television Hill. Let them hear from you. Tell them you enjoy lacrosse.
That's Hot Rod Hundley, who tied this game up moments ago, number 18. 3:50 to play in the third period. Maryland led by as many as 4 in this period, 11-7. And Hopkins has caught fire. It's now 12-12. Mahan to the Hot Rod. Huntley, good fake. But there's that Maryland defense not giving them any room at all. No space at all. Good pass. Garavante to Hirsch. In front, DeSimone has the ball. Good defensive play made there by Billy Gould, but DeSimone stays with it.
A marvelous tightrope performance there, Jimmy. Shows the fine athlete that he is.
Huntley. DeSimone. Time remaining, 3:05, third period tie game.
The crowd is yelling, chanting, Dees, Dees, Dees.
Double team. DeSimone. DeSimone fires wide. Left-handed shot.
Excuse me, Jimmy. Dees was looking for the screen there, and he was just a little bit wide. Now O'Neill's going to give it a go.
Hopkins wanted to get some substitutions in, but they couldn't. Mike O'Neill making a move. Oh, good defensive play. Ratliff made the play on O'Neill, and O'Neill comes back to get it. Intercepted by the Blue Jays in front. Goal! Joe Garavante. Garavante has given Hopkins the lead. And look at this crowd.
Here you see O'Neill, after having the ball taken away from him, fighting it off, bouncing into Hirsch's stick. Hirsch looking out in the midfield to Garavante, one-on-one, bang, right in the goal. They're up by 1. You know, one of the reasons lacrosse is so great, you don't have to be Superman to play this game in terms of size. Jerry Schneidman, perfect example, 5 foot, 1 inches tall, 2-time first-team All-American midfielder. Jimmy Brown, you know his dimensions, and he was a first-team All-American midfielder. And now putting the ball in on extra man. Maryland, down man D for 1 minute.
All right, Johns Hopkins with the ball, with the advantage now. Looking to go 2 up on Maryland. It's been a great third period for Hopkins. In front, goal! Huntley! Huntley scores. He was in great position, and he made the shot. And Johns Hopkins now has a 2-goal lead. Let's look at it again.
The feed coming through the down man D. The feed should never be able to come through. The stick should be up. He's wide open. Put the ball wherever he wants to put it. He puts it down. Jake Reed, no prayer.
DeSimone made the great pass and did get through. Now the score. Johns Hopkins 14 and Maryland 12. All right, as we start the fourth period of play now. Maryland brings it on the attack. Martinello. Hines. Terps need a couple to tie. Martinello goes, goal! Martinello pulled the trigger, and it's now 14-13, and Maryland scores in the first 19 seconds of the fourth period.
Here we see it coming up again. Maryland extra man holding the ball out of the third quarter so they could have the face-off with the extra man. Bouncing a low shot to pull within 1 of the Terrapins.
College lacrosse from Burr Stadium. The score now, Hopkins 14 and Maryland 13. Maimonian ought to face it off now. Maryland trails Johns Hopkins by a goal, 14-13. Hot wins it. He really got crunched.
He got hammered there, and referee Ron O'Leary running over and pointing to Maimonian. It's going to be a pushing, a technical, and let's see whether it's a loose ball foul or not. See it coming up, and you can see it right now. It's going to be a push. You see him about to fall down, and You'll see the referee right on the play, Ron O'Leary, watching the play very carefully, right on top, using a three-man crew today. Calls it, so Johns Hopkins now, with only a one-goal lead, is going to be down for 30 seconds on defense. Maryland with an opportunity to score. And, Jim, we just saw coming out of this third period, Johns Hopkins in one quarter equaling their 7 goals that they had in the whole first half.
That's right. If you're inclined to statistics, both these clubs have done well in the fourth period this year. Hopkins outscored opponents 38-20, Maryland 32-20. Well, shot is knocked away, and getting up to hit it down with his hand is Mike Connor.
Of course, you can't do that. Only the goalie can touch the ball with his hand, and that's just to block it down. But he would rather take that technical, which only means the loss of the ball, than to have that ball skittering around out in front. A very alert play. It's a good giveaway foul.
All right, here come the Terps. Pete Worstel, number 12. Martinello. Now they're looking in front. And a goal!
A tying goal for the Terrapins, but not to score at 14-all. A beautiful bouncing shot by Kevin Mahan.
They give it to Greg Rump. Rump knocked it past Mahan, and now it's a 14-all game as we watch Rump go again on replay. Look at this bouncer.
The feed coming through the defense. Shouldn't get there. The stick should be up. The score is tied.
Hopkins controlled the face-off, and we pick up the action with Hopkins on the attack. The Blue Jays looking for the go-ahead goal. O'Neill. Davis. Shot deflected. And the Blue Jays continue to control the game here in the fourth period. O'Neill again. Here's Davis, number 30. Back to O'Neill on the left side. He looked at Hirsch behind the net, but he was covered, so he's going to bring it back out again to Davis. Shot knocked down in front. And the Terps come running away with the ball. Good clearing pass. In front, man there. And what a save by Mahan on Johnny Lehman. Lehman was trying to turn and go with it, and Mahan just picked it out of the air. O'Neill to Hirsch behind the net, going against Prey. Shot, what a goal! What a goal by Hirsch!
The first time I've ever seen Richie Hirsch in his career at Johns Hopkins come around and put that ball behind his head, and boy, he sure picked a great time to do it.
It looked like the defender, Prey, had figured he bumped him out of the way. Watch 17, and then he kind of relaxed for just a moment here. Boom.
Jake Reed could not have expected that. Could not have expected it.
Now, for the score, Johns Hopkins 15, Maryland 14.
Glad you're here. You're doing a great game, regardless of which team you're for. Why don't you get up and right up there?
11:44 to play in the game, and now Johns Hopkins has taken a 15-14 lead on a great goal by Hirsch. Here come the running Terps. Ratliff, good reception there. The defender coming into the attacking zone, and now he'll run back into the defensive end as he lets the attackers and midfielders take over. Boland now. Maryland looking for a goal to tie. Worstel, dangerous, brilliant freshman. Oh, what a save by Mahan. And it's not going to be easy for him to get it out of there. Maryland really coming after him. They knock him down. But Mahan came up with the ball, almost ran it into his own net. Boy, he's a gutty little guy, isn't he, Joe?
He sure is. A lot of people think goalies are slow when they come out, but Kevin is not one of them.
Teasdale had it knocked away nicely by Pete Worstel. Hopkins trying to retain possession. Let's see who's hit this last. Who's going to get the ball? It's going to be awarded to Johns Hopkins. And Buddy Beardmore is not happy with that call at all.
We're going to see the save once again by Kevin Mahan, a beautiful save. Coming in right-handed. And you can't appreciate, because it's such a beautiful slow-mo shot, the speed with which that ball is coming in. Again, great camera work and direction today.
Worstel at point-blank range, and Mahan with a great hand-eye coordination. Again, both goalkeepers have been great. All right, DeSimone gets it behind the net to O'Neill. Time remaining 10.5 minutes. Hopkins leads Maryland 15-14.
You can't go into the four corners in this game, Jimmy. You've got to keep it rolling.
O'Neill getting room and lost the ball. Martinello racing for the Terps. Gets away beautifully. Martinello with room. Comes all the way in. Spins. Shot. Goal! What an effort by Martinello. He went from end to end. And I'll tell you, he was like
Let's watch it again, Jimmy. He's going to fake the shot, make his man commit, much as a man in basketball would do before going up for the jump. Here's the fake, coming back right-handed. Nice screen, bouncing past Kevin Mahan.
Maryland controlled the face-off, and we pick up the action with Maryland on the attack.
The game has been tied 6 times.
And both teams have shown you character because both have come from behind. Maryland was down by 2 in this fourth period. Now they've come to tie the game. They've tied it twice here in the fourth period. Here's Hines. In front, what a goal! Great goal by Worstel. A great feed, and Hines went high in the air and knocked it right back down. You'll see it again.
Beautiful, looking behind, looking to feed, looking for the cutting midi. He's open, the feet out front perfectly, right at the top of his stick, coming over Kevin's left shoulder.
Worstel released that while he was in midair. He was up in the air as he knocked it down. And now, from College Park, the Terrapins 16, the Blue Jays 15. 9:47 to play, Joe Harlan, and now we'll see whether the Blue Jays can come back and answer.
These teams are both in such excellent shape. Jimmy, they're not wilting. The goal production increases as they go along. The fourth period seeming like a month.
Who's got the ball? No one yet. Maryland.
Again, face-off's the key.
In front, but there's Mahan to make the good play as he intercepted the pass.
Mahan putting on a nice fake there, getting away, but he's being hounded. Outrunning the Maryland attack and putting the ball downfield.
Wayne Davis on the move now for the Blue Jays, looking to tie the game as they go to number 25, Scott Bogger. Bogger's in there, so is O'Neill, number 7. Hurst with the ball, number 21. Bogger tied the game. Bogger tied it.
Unbelievable. I can't remember a more exciting lacrosse game, Jimmy.
And the crowd agrees with you, Joe Harlan, as we look at it again.
Let's watch it again. Rolling back and forth. Everybody knows what he's going to do. It looks like he has no angle at all. Coming in right-handed. A high, hard one. To not the score.
16-16, 8:52 to play in the game. Bogger, a transfer from Washington and Lee. And Ciccarone is probably hoping now that he didn't transfer.
Face-off so all-important now, Jimmy. We just can't stress that enough.
I should say Ciccarone is happy he did transfer. All right, here comes Maryland. Colin, shot wide. We now pick up the action later in the fourth quarter. Maryland 16, Johns Hopkins 16, 5:17 to play in the game, and Buddy Beardmore is nervous.
Beardmore and Ciccarone yelling instructions to their players. Again, Johns Hopkins employing the deep 3 attack ride. Maryland content to walk the ball up.
Beardmore is nervous. I'm nervous. All right, back to Jake Reed. Here's his long pass. He's got a man open. behind the net now. Time front, goal! Goal by Johnny Lehman. What a big goal by Lehman. And the Terps have a 1-goal lead with 4:48 to go. Joe, let's look at it again.
Mike Hines on a beautiful assist from behind to Lehman. Just dumping it in over the left shoulder of Kevin Mahan as Maryland goes up by a score of 17-6.
From College Park, Maryland, the score, Maryland 17, Johns Hopkins 16. With 4:35 to play in this game, the Terrapins lead the Blue Jays 17-16. Here's DeSimone coming in for Johns Hopkins. Looking for the tie, O'Neill. DeSimone. Hot Rod Huntley trying to get free. He's in front, has it picked off by Jake Reed. To Rattler. Maryland trying to clear, they do. Gould gets it on the left side here.
It'll be interesting to see if Maryland tries to settle the ball down a little bit as they substitute midfields with the clock ticking down to just 4 minutes right now. They're in command. You cannot play a four corners in this game like you could in basketball. And if the referee does detect the team stalling, he'll indicate, and they'll have to come into that box and stay in there.
Still now. Bobby Ott. Here's Ott getting free. Save nicely by Mahan.
Each save is even more important than the one before now, Jimmy.
Hopkins trying to tie. Good pass to O'Neill. DeSimone. Crossing there you see with Huntley. DeSimone faking the shot. Looking for a man to feed to in front. Good control. Pass in front is deflected. O'Neill should have this. He does. Ratliff all over him, and he got away. Here's O'Neill. His pass is knocked down nicely, but Hurst came back to pick it up. The defensive play was made by George Miller, 14. Hopkins trying to tie. The shot by DeSimone is off the mark, but Hopkins closest to that line. They'll retain it.
A very important defensive play there because O'Neill had his man beat, and he had what amounted to a fast break there with a man, at least one man, perhaps two open on the crease.
Billy Gould and Tony Morgan come back in the game for Maryland. Time remaining 2:45, and Maryland leading by 1. O'Neill. Hopkins trying to equalize here. A good move, O'Neill. Bad angle, but he scored. O'Neill, tough angle, bounced it in past Jake Reed, and we've got another tie game.
We're seeing some money lacrosse here, Jimmy. Neither side giving up. Both sides tying it again for the 8th time as we watch O'Neill go into his role. Very little angle there, very little at all, and squeezing it by Jake Reed, who is in good position, but not good enough.
O'Neill's 4th goal of the game. From an excited College Park, Maryland, the score now, Maryland 17, Hopkins 17. And what a game we've seen here today. 4 goals for O'Neill. Kohler and Maimon, big face-off. Big face-off with 2:31 to play. Maryland has it. Worstel. Penetrating. Defense kept them away. In front, Worstel. Denied. Who gets the ball? Hopkins gets the ball with 2:08 in a tie lacrosse game, 17 all. Raymond didn't agree.
Henry Ciccarone, every time they're on defense, pulling out DeSimone's unit, but every time they go on offense, testing these horses out there right now. Bobby DeSimone seeing an awful lot of action, but there's no tomorrow. They're not saving it for the dance tonight with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Score knotted at 17 in all. Remember, Maryland's very strong. They can come back very quickly. They did it last year against Cornell in the NCAA championship with just a handful of seconds, down by a goal to knot it up.
Are you going to the dance?
If you'll dance with me, Jimmy.
All right. Hopkins now across the line. Leroy Cox. Maryland very aggressive.
And DeSimone doing some dancing out there. Jimmy dancing away from the defenders. And now they're in control with a minute and a half to go. And you can bet you they're going to take time and look for that last shot. Be looking for the referees to call stalling and make the move, keep it in the box.
The show belongs to DeSimone right now. He's got the ball, a minute 23 to play in the game. It's tied at 17 all. Shot off the mark, but the Blue Jays retain the ball.
A very, very wise shot taken wide of the goal. He knew that they had the man backing up. If it does tie, there's no such thing as a lacrosse game ending in the tie. We'll go into 2 4-minute overtimes.
The Blue Jays in control with O'Neill, number 7. Lays it back outside, and they'll just hold it a while. They're not in any hurry at all with a minute 4 to play. Hot Rod Huntley. Now he winds, fires, and Jake Reed was there to deflect it away.
Under a minute now, Jimmy, and the tension is unbearable here. You can cut it with a knife. Excitement on both sides of the field as the game is tied at 17 all.
Buddy Beardmore. There's Hirsch, Rich Hirsch, a brilliant feeder, who made a brilliant goal in this game as well. Huntley starts out in front, knocked down by Reed. Maryland almost had it. No one's got it yet. Scramble, a whistle. Reed clears it after the whistle, and the call is going to be against Maryland.
It's going to be a pushing call, and Johns Hopkins once again will be in command. And I'll tell you one thing, Jimmy, Hopkins better hang on to that ball, because if Maryland gets it, they're a definite threat to go down and win this ball game.
Right now, Buddy Beardmore wants to talk it over with 47 seconds to play in regulation time, and the score, Maryland 17, Johns Hopkins. Right, here's a replay on that last foul by Maryland's Greg Rumpf. You'll see him with his stick high in the air there, and you'll see the push right there. Number 30, Greg Rumpf. Good call by the official.
Also a good play by Greg. All that happens is that Hopkins gets possession of the ball. That ball was loose in the middle. And if the attackman had handled it, they might have won it right then.
All right, you see the clock at the top of your screen. 17 all. Play it outside. Garavente. Huntley. You don't want to give him any room. Knocked away by the Terps, 25 seconds. And Maryland gets the ball with 22 seconds.
A big play, what Buddy Beardmore told me yesterday. The breaks are going to decide it, and it looks like he's right. Now, Hopkins unable to score when they had possession of the ball. Maryland with 22 seconds. They're known as the running Terps. Let's see what happens, Jimmy.
22 seconds to stay undefeated. Tie game at 17. 22 seconds. Look at Ciccarone. You don't think he's ready?
He wants man-on-man here. He wants to double-team the ball, and he wants man-on-man. He doesn't want any quick goal coming in there now.
Maryland now in their own zone with 19 seconds. They get it to Jake Reed. Gray, long cross field here for Ratliff. And a whistle blows, and we have an offside. Offside against Maryland, and now Ciccarone wants to talk it over with 11 seconds. Costly offside by Maryland there, Joe.
Jimmy, I'm sure that Henry Ciccarone, with 11 seconds to go, is going to just try and get one shot. I think that's obvious to anybody that's ever seen a sporting contest in their life. They don't want that ball to be left on the ground and lost, because I'm telling you, the Terrapins, like Hopkins, are capable of scoring with 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock. Once again, should we end up, as it appears right now, in an overtime situation, we will have 2 4-minute halftimes. 2 4-minute halftimes, and whoever's leading at the end of those 2 4-minute periods will be the winner of the game. In the event that it's still tied, then we'll go into sudden death. And those sudden death periods will last until someone has scored, and they will be 4 minutes in length apiece.
All right, people to look for now in the last 11 seconds for Johns Hopkins. You know who to look for if you've been watching the telecast. Rich Hirsch, 21. You'll be looking for Hot Rod Hundley, number 18. You'll be looking for Mike O'Neill, number 7. They'll all be around there, and they'll be the guys that most probably will take this shot.
Look for the ball to be handled by... Now we're in our first overtime 4-minute period. Jimmy?
Maimon. Across midfield. Now he's going to come off the field as Federico moves on the right side. First of the overtime periods, 2 4-minute overtime periods. O'Neill with it. If we don't have any winner then we're going to go to sudden death.
O'Neill handling the ball now, taking his time, generaling the offense. Every play now so critical. Every little foul, every face-off, every loose ball, every shot, and eventually every goal.
I watch O'Neill. Hands it off to Hirsch. O'Neill. Bogger, number 25. Davis. Pass in front is an errant one, as you saw. He intended that ball for number 47, Frank Catrone. And that turnover gives Maryland the ball with 2:49 to play in this first overtime.
You enjoyed the Preakness Parade, now a Super Lacrosse game, and stay tuned right after this for the Oakland Oriole game.
Jake Reed. Long for Prey. Good thing he's tall. There's a collision. The ball's still in bounds. What a hit there. And then we're going to have a...
There's no foul there, Jimmy. It was a good hit. The ball being awarded by Bobby Schlinger to the University of Maryland.
That was Pete Worstel administering the hit there. Here he comes. No contact sport. Back to the live action. Kohler with the ball, number 7. We're in the first overtime, 2:20 to play. Maryland 17, Hopkins 17. Classic game. They say it was a shot on goal. Maryland will have the ball.
Maryland's offense is a little stronger when they're in a fast break situation as opposed to a slow down. Hopkins, of course, is just the reverse.
Goal!
We say that, a beautiful goal scored.
Great goal by number 30, Greg Rump. And a pass from Hines. And the Terrapins lead 18-17 in overtime.
And we remind our viewers that in the event that the University of Maryland or Johns Hopkins is leading at the end of this first 4-minute overtime, there's another 4-minute overtime, and in the event that they're tied at the end of that, we'll go into sudden death 4-minute overtime periods.
So Greg Rump has given Maryland the lead. That's his 3rd goal of the game.
Maryland's been in 2 overtime games this year. If the advantage is in experience, they've won both of them. Johns Hopkins has not been tested in overtime yet, Jim.
Kohler and Mamoni facing off. Maryland leads 18-17. Jim Carvelis, Joe Harlan. College Park's Bird Stadium. Good crowd.
Little complaint on the face-off there. Man didn't like the way the ball was put. Lance Kohler facing off against Hopkins ace Momoni.
Time remaining 1:58 in the first overtime.
Again, Kohler perhaps a little tired, using that to his psychological advantage.
Hopkins with the ball.
Very important face-off as they're down by a goal.
Hot Rod Hundley, number 18. DeSimone will have it.
You get the feeling there are 3 or 4 midfielders for Hopkins named DeSimone, Jim?
O'Neill behind the net. Hopkins looking to tie it. Ratliff playing him closely. Huntley. He'd love to get that one away. O'Neill. Check it, Hirsch. He wanted to get it away, but couldn't. Double teamed, as you saw.
Fans are complaining. They thought it was a little warding off there. Applause for the Maryland defense. Ball going out on top again to DeSimone.
Minute 4 to play in the first overtime. Trying to shank that shot, DeSimone. It was a good pass, and Worstel comes across the midfield line for the running Turks. Worstel. Goal! What an effort! And a flag down also. Worstel with a goal. And the Turks lead by 2. A tremendous effort.
Very important goal. Very important goal. It puts the Terps up by 2. 48 seconds left in the first overtime period. The flag was a technical. We'll watch it coming down now. Face dodging the first man. It looks like we're going to get a holding call, but it will be a race by the goal, as all technical fouls are.
What a great individual effort. It was a good feed by the defender on that side to Worstel, and you saw him race across midfield. And now we'll have a timeout here with a score in overtime. Maryland 19 and Hopkins 17. Pete Worstel's 3rd goal of the game and his 25th of the year has given Maryland a 19-17 lead, 48 seconds to go in the first 4-minute overtime. Mamoni and Kohler.
Glad you're here. You're seeing a great game, and regardless of which team you're for, why don't you get up and right above there?
And a shot over the top. And Johns Hopkins keeps the ball. Good save by Jake Reed on O'Neill there on a tricky shot.
If you've just tuned our way, the Oriole-Oakland game will be coming up. This is Joe Harlan with Jimmy Carvelis, and we're in the first period of overtime as Maryland leads Johns Hopkins by a score of 19-17.
You saw that good save by Jake Reed. There's Hirsch. He'll put it in play. Goes behind O'Neill. Hirsch. Goal! Hirsch! And it's now Maryland 19 and Hopkins 18. 12 seconds to go in the first overtime, and you just can't count either team out, Joe.
It's unbelievable, Jimmy. This game, I think it's going to go over forever as we watch Richie Hirsch having excellent years as sophomore and junior year, having a slow start this year, but coming on strong in the end. Very important goal for Johns Hopkins to bring them within 1 goal of this high-scoring game, 19-18, where Maryland prevails with 12 seconds left in the first 4-minute overtime period. We remind you there will be a second 4-minute overtime period.
Seconds to play in the first overtime period. Here come the Terps. Pass intended for Hines goes over the end line, and I believe it'll be Johns Hopkins with the ball.
With 3 seconds to go, you can expect to see Kevin Mahan stand there with the ball. They're going to give it to a midfielder now. They don't want that ball to be lost down there to a defenseman. Perhaps they're going to throw it the length of the field. I think that's what we're going to see now.
3 seconds to go in the first overtime. Maryland by 1. Here it goes. Maryland intercepts, throws it the other way over the top, and we've completed the first 4-minute overtime with a score. Maryland 19 and Johns Hopkins 18. Getting ready to start the second 4-minute overtime. Maryland outscored Hopkins 2-1 in the first 4-minute overtime. Odd against Mamoni. Hopkins has it.
Again, another important face-off, Jimmy, as we now are standing ourselves. We're so wrapped up in the excitement of the game.
Hopkins trying to tie. Good defensive play there. Good defensive play made by Georgie Miller, number 14. The Terps coming away with the ball. Worstel, who scored the go-ahead goal. Shot just misses by Pete Worstel. Worstel has 25 goals in a year, 3 here today. With 3.5 minutes to go in overtime. Maryland leads 19-18.
If either of these two teams are tired, Jimmy, they're certainly not showing it to us today.
Terps controlling. Boniello. Greenberg is out there playing him, number 44. What a great defender he is. Knocks him down. But the Terps retain possession. 1-goal lead. 3:07 to play in overtime. Lehman, number 11. Looking for someone to cut in front. Cut in front of that crease. Hines. .250 to play in overtime. Maryland trying to stay undefeated. Protect their number 2 national ranking behind Cornell. Lehman with the ball on the right side. Terps taking their time. They can't afford to make a mistake here.
Kevin Mahan way out on that one to save a goal.
In front. There's a mistake. Who's got the ball? The Terps retain it. They lost it, but they got it back. Pete Worstel was the man in the spot. 2:13 to play in the game.
The clock's really a factor now, Jimmy, because the Terrapins have the ball, and they've got the lead. And if that clock wears down and they still have the lead, the ball game will be theirs, and so will second place and the advantage to the semifinals.
Boniello with the ball now. Gets away from his man. Hines in front. Goal! Goal by Tony Morgan.
Very, very important goal. But as we've seen before today, a 2-goal advantage, even with this little amount of time left, is nothing. It's important for the face-offs. As we watch the goal being scored now, Kevin Mahan trying to get in position, going over his right shoulder, bouncing it in to give the Terps a 2-goal advantage. The players congratulating each other now as though they've won the game, but it's far from over with just under 2 minutes to go.
154 against a quality team like Hopkins. I agree with you, Joe. You can't count anything yet. And now a timeout is being called by Chick Ciccarone. He wants to discuss his strategy for the last minute 54 with a score. Maryland 20, Hopkins 18. The most important man on that field right now is Bob Maimone for Johns Hopkins. He's got to get this face-off to give the Blue Jays a chance.
Oh, and he's pushed from behind, and they're going to call it. The ball's going to go to Johns Hopkins, and they needed that one badly with 1 minute and 51 seconds. And if you have just tuned our way and you're waiting for the baseball game, we'll be coming up with the Oakland Oriole game. We hope you fine baseball fans are enjoying this lacrosse game that's gone into double overtime, the Maryland-Johns Hopkins game, a classic. And if you enjoy watching lacrosse on WJZ, don't hesitate to drop us a line and tell us.
Hot Rod Hundley with the ball now. He'll put it in play right from there, about 10 yards shy of the midfield line. He goes to Greenberg. There's a big defender coming in. Unmarked. Pass in front. O'Neill.
With an assist from Greenberg, a defenseman.
O'Neill from Greenberg. And it's now Maryland 20. Johns Hopkins 19. 1 minute 43 to play. And right when you think it's over, Joe Harlan, you got a game again.
Jimmy Carvelis, you've done a lot of national TV. As we watch now, Greenberg prancing in, nobody picking him up till the last minute, freeing it up for the attack to come around from behind, closely guarded, wedging the ball in, just on the right side of the Maryland goalie. Jimmy, you've done a lot of national TV in many, many sports. Have you ever seen anything this exciting?
I tell you, I haven't done many things ever that have been this exciting. It's incredible.
Especially at your age. Let's watch it now because this game needs...
set me up for that.
Needs no excitement.
All right, let's go. Maimone against Ott. Maimone.
They need it badly.
They have it. The Blue Jays have it. A chance to tie.
Oh, beautiful save by O'Neill. That could have been the ball game.
What a pickup by O'Neill. Outside, DeSimone, a minute 22 to play in the game. Hot Rod, he wants to go against Worstel. Shot! What a save!
A beautiful save, a game-saving save.
O'Neill's got it again. O'Neill's kept him in the game here. DeSimone. DeSimone. Go!
Oh, it's unbelievable! 20-all! Who would have thought it? With a minute and 1 second to go. You couldn't ask for more than this, Jimmy.
This crowd is going crazy.
I'm going crazy.
The Hopkins bench is on the field, swarming. On top of DeSimone, we see it again. The shot, a blistering shot over the shoulder of Reed, and we've got a tie game, if you can believe it, with a minute 1 to play in overtime. 3 goals for DeSimone. He'll never get a more important one. Timeout. Score. Maryland 20. Hopkins 20. From College Park, Maryland, Jim Carvelis, Joe Harlan, witnessing one of the most electrifying athletic events of the year. Hopkins, Maryland, 20-20, a minute 1 to go in overtime. Maimone got the face-off, but Maryland gets the ball. Kohler. Oh, it's given to Hopkins.
A double team, a beautiful double team there. Knocking the ball out of Lance Kohler's stick that's going to give it to Johns Hopkins.
47 seconds to play in overtime. Unbelievable. Incredible.
Every little move by every player on each team is so important now, Jimmy. And there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser, and it's going to be sad because both teams have played so well today that it really isn't fair to have a loser out of this one.
Long pass. Blue Jays have it. DeSimone.
28 seconds and counting, Jimmy. They're going to hold it for the shot.
DeSimone, who gave him this tie about 40 seconds ago. Now to Huntley. 18. Huntley making a move. Shot. Goal! Oh! Huntley scored! Doctor, I can't believe it.
The whole Hopkins team out on the field. But don't give up. There's 13 seconds to go. And University of Maryland has scored many, many times this year on fast break goals with 13 seconds to go.
Huntley delivers. And they're going crazy at College Park. Look at it again.
Here he comes in. Oh, hard sidewinder, left-handed. Coming in, Jake Reed is there, but the ball passes him. 13 seconds left on the clock. The University of Maryland capable, however, on 10 prior occasions of scoring within 13 seconds of the face-off.
4 goals for the Hot Rod. 13 seconds, and now it's Maimone against Ott.
You can't sing amen to this one, can you?
It's gotten down to a face-off now with 13 seconds. Maryland must win it. Maimone got it.
He's going to win the ball game. He's going to win the ball game. He's not going to let anybody else touch it. That's all she wrote, Jimmy.
That's it. And Hopkins has upset Maryland, if you can call it that, 21-20 in overtime at College Park in one of the most sensational athletic events I've ever had the privilege to broadcast, Joe Harlan.
Jimmy Carvelis, it's been a pleasure working with you, watching Henry Ciccarone run off the field. But our hearts have to go out to the Terrapins, too, who played so well and who battled back and forth. And we'll be hearing from them as well as Johns Hopkins and the NCAAs.
It really is too bad, as you said just moments ago, that somebody has to lose this game. We had a great crowd on hand today to see a truly great game. And the final score Hopkins 21, Maryland 20. And that was the first loss of the year for the University of Maryland. So Maryland and Hopkins end with identical records. The only change probably will be that Hopkins will move to number 2 in the nation, Maryland to number 3. This has been NCAA lacrosse between the University of Maryland and Johns Hopkins University. Today's game was produced and directed by Gary Brasher. This is Jim Carvelis together with Joe Harlan saying goodbye from Byrd Stadium in College Park. And once again, the final score in overtime, Johns Hopkins 21, Maryland 20. This has been a presentation of WJZ Sports.
Maryland has seen many exciting moments in sports, in football, in baseball, but the biggest sports event of them all is the fabulous Preakness.
At Mercantile Bank and Trust, we think a personal loan should be just that, personal. Every Mercantile Bank has qualified loan professionals to discuss your needs in a courteous, personal way. Professionals with authority to approve your loan, frequently the same day. If you're thinking of making a personal loan of any type, call or stop by any Mercantile Bank where a personal loan is a person-to-person experience.
Coquette's right, it's got the taste and the feeling you like. Coca-Cola, the pizza's hot. Boy, I'm really hungry now. Jumbo size, wow, pepperoni, mushroom, sausage and cheese. Ice cold Coca-Cola, hurry up please. Coquette's right, everybody wants a little like Coca-Cola.
Summer is the time for growth, branching out, reaching out. Let your mind reach out at the University of Maryland Summer Sessions. 2 sessions, over 800 courses, summer entertainment series, cultural and recreational programs, plus special workshops, institutes, and more. All offered from the University of Maryland Summer Sessions. First session starts May 23rd through July 1st. Walk-in registration May 23rd. Call 454-3347, 454-3347. Let your mind reach out this summer at the University of Maryland Summer Session.
Hey Sport, your participating Ford dealer has a new game with great prizes like this elegant 77 Thunderbird. You could win Wilson Sporting Goods right on the spot. Golf clubs, tennis rackets, and more. Or win the world. A trip to any sporting event anywhere in the world. You pick the spot and the sport. With this scratch card, everybody wins instantly. Play now, see your Ford dealer, and win the world.
You really get more at a Ford dealer, the better idea, guys.
You don't have to shell out a bundle for a new or used car at Luby Chevrolet. Just a little bitty at Luby Chevrolet, the little cheaper dealer.
Spring discount days are now happening at Luby Chevrolet. This is the time to make your best deal because every 77 Chevy is on sale for less than Luby's already low prices. Save even more on Luby's few remaining 76s. So, don't miss spring discount days going on now at Luby Chevrolet.
Pabst Blue Ribbon wouldn't dare challenge anyone to scale an ice-covered mountain. Unless he knows what he's doing. But we do challenge everyone to discover a better tasting beer. Taste and compare Blue Ribbon with any other premium beer. We know you'll never go back to the beer you were drinking. Pabst, since 1844, the quality has always come through.
I just solved my lawnmower problems. I bought a Jacobson.
Me too. It's quick and easy.
I like the optional key start.
No pushing, and so easy to handle.
Set your own walking speed, right here.
Twist it goes, let go it stops.
Jacobson, quick and easy.
See your Jacobson dealer now and save up to $39.95.
Wow, right. Don't you enjoy a pool that sparkles in the sun? I do. So use HTH, the largest selling pool chlorine brand. HTH works in any pool, anywhere. What you can see is how HTH helps keep water sparkling clear. But what you can't see is how HTH kills bacteria and controls algae. And a drum this size can last you all season. Use HTH for a healthier, happier pool.
When you test drive the new Oldsmobile Delta 88, you'll notice 4 important things.
Notice the efficient new design, the improved head and rear leg room. And this smooth ride is a result of a computer-designed suspension.
And if you drive far enough, you'll notice Delta 88's improved fuel economy. EPA estimates are 25 highway, 18 city. Your Olds dealer has a beautiful new Delta 88 for you to test drive now. So come on in and take notice.
Beautiful rock on AM radio. WAYE AM 86.
Hi, I'd like to sell you a new Oldsmobile. Why? Well, the obvious reason. That's my business. But also because everybody's needs are different, and Oldsmobile knows that, and they've built an Oldsmobile for you. I feel that City Olds can help you with selection, financing, insurance, and service. So come out to City Olds at 4636 Edmondson Avenue and let me help you get the right Oldsmobile. If you need any information or assistance, don't hesitate to ask me. My desk is right on the showroom floor.
You take only what the sea will give you. And for the last 9 days, she's given a lot. Now comes Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you got the time, we got the beer, Miller beer.
Ah, the first sunny day of spring. What a great smell. Wouldn't it be nice to have this kind of freshness around your house every time you clean? Well, come on.
Mr. Clean has captured the sun with a fresh, clean fragrance.
Clean never smelled this fresh before.
For a fragrance fresh as sunshine everywhere you clean.
Hey, this room really smells fresh.
See what I mean?
Mr. Clean has captured the sun to make everything you clean smell sunshine fresh.
See you on the courts at 3. Oh, and bring your Dunlops, Marge.
If you like us on the court, you'll love us on your car. Dunlop.
The Preakness, Maryland's biggest outdoor party. You're on the right track at Pimlico. Infield tickets $4 open.
First race, 12:30 p.m.
When Datsun builds a high-mileage car, we don't strip it down, we dress it up. Introducing Datsun's new hatchback B210 Plus. 50 miles per gallon highway, 37 city. Plus steel-belted radials. Plus 5 speed. Plus stripes. Datsun's new B210 Plus. 50 highway, 37 city. Fully dressed.
Suddenly it's gonna dawn on you. Datsun saves.
The tall ships. They came to Baltimore on a mission of goodwill. If you saw them, you will never forget them. And now you can get a portfolio of the prints you see here, only $12.95 for the complete set at any Equitable Trust branch. Or get all 6 prints for only $4.95 when you open or add $500 to your savings account at Equitable Trust Bank. Also available at these other banks.
Your Eyewitness News Station, Channel 13.
Maryland has seen many exciting moments in sports, in football, in baseball, but the biggest sports event of them all is the fabulous Preakness. At Pimlico, Saturday, May 21st. Great fun for everyone. Infield picnic, enjoy live music, entertainment, championship lacrosse. Maryland's biggest outdoor party, the Preakness. For real excitement, you're on the right track at Pimlico. Infield tickets $4 opens.
First race, 12:30 p.m.
Cokehead's life to everything. I said Cokehead's life, yeah, to everything. Cokehead's life, it's got the taste and the feel in your life. Cokehead's life, Cokehead's life. Have a Coke.
Walter says his car doesn't give him that old thrill. He doesn't feel it anymore.
I don't feel it anymore, Alice.
I told him at Mako they work magic. You'll feel it again.
If you really want to see magic, bring your car into Mako Auto Painting and Body Works. It'll come out with the kind of quality paint job you thought you couldn't afford.
I'm starting to feel it again, Alice.
Mako makes magic.
Consult your yellow pages for the Mako Center nearest you.
When an unfortunate outcome puts a dent in your income,
Nationwide is on your side.
Aerosol. Not an economical way to apply deodorant. In fact, you'd use up this 4-ounce can of the leading aerosol, buy another, use it up, buy a third, use it up, before you'd use up one 2.5-ounce Speed Stick. Men and Speed Stick is solid deodorant. An even, effective layer of protection you apply directly. Nothing's wasted. That's why 3 million more Americans took our advice. They got off the can. They got on the stick.
Expressway Messenger Service is everything a messenger service should be. Fast, efficient, bonded, but most of all, they're courteous. Expressway Messenger Service. Special on women cops tomorrow at 6 and 11. Welcome to Baltimore Orioles baseball. Participating in today's game is Tuborg Gold, the golden beer of Danish kings. Tuborg Breweries Limited, Baltimore, Maryland. And Tasty Cake, where each Oriole home run and winning pitcher wins a case of Tasty Cake for the player and one for his favorite charity.
Channel 13, your box seat to the birds.